Welcome back to Cryptos Are Us. I am George. We're all George. So tonight, I want to show you this one indicator or one pattern or this one expirations that Bitcoin is tracking. So I discovered this morning, and it seems like Bitcoin is tracking it. So let's discuss what that is and what that means for the rest of this week and what that means for the rest of this month. Also, very interesting development. One of the biggest Tesla investors has come out and has disputed what Elon has been saying. In fact, this one investor argues that Bitcoin is actually good for the environment. Very interesting. So let's discuss that as well. So thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. 2 streams every day, 11:30 and 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you hit that notification bell and follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. All right, guys, let's do this. Again, lively crowd. People want to know what is going on with Bitcoin. Why is it not moving? Well, it is moving. Let's look at it. It clawed right back up to 45,000. So right now, it may be premature, but I do think Bitcoin is tracking something, and that possibly this 42,100 is the bottom. And why do I think that? Well, just a few days ago, we saw Bitcoin fall all the way down, and this was the scary point for a lot of people that, hey, it's going to go down to 30s or whatever. No, it held at 42.1. You can see this small little dip right here, this little wick down here. And this morning, same thing. It went down there and it jumped that back up. And just about a few hours ago, we saw Bitcoin go down again to about 42.5, but this time didn't go as low. So it seems like this could be that bottom, the turning point. Now, obviously, we're not out of the woods. We're around 45.1, which is not bad, but still not as good as some of these upper highs or local highs. So we got to see Bitcoin come above. But right now, what it appears is that Bitcoin's price is following the expirations of options right now. So this morning, I showcased you guys this, and right now there is a expirations that's going to happen tomorrow. In fact, for those of us in the U.S., it's like right in the middle, smack middle tonight while we're sleeping. But the one that's ending tomorrow, even though it has low volume, I know that has very low volume. It shouldn't have enough volume to really dictate anything. Yet this morning when Bitcoin was around 42-ish, I'm like, look at it. The max pain price, this is the max pain price, meaning that both the longs and shorts on options, the ones that are greedy, calling for Bitcoin to be much higher, and the ones that's calling Bitcoin to be much lower, the max point where they both lose is at 44,000. And this is something that I picked up months ago, right? So 2 months ago, we saw the same thing happen. Usually this occurs at the end of the month. So we haven't gotten there yet. But last week, the last week of the last month, also, Bitcoin just basically settled exactly at that max pain price. And a month before that too. So right now, it looks like that is what's happening right now, that Bitcoin is tracking this. Even though we're a little bit above 45.2, and that's great. And I love to see it continue to go up. I have an inkling that we may see it come down to 44 again and hover there after this expiration. Now, there is another expiration that is for tomorrow, the 19th. It's actually a little bit lower. The max pain price is 43,000. But here's the good news. If this is actually true and somehow the whales that are driving the market right now, they are trying to just basically destroy both the long side and the short side, right? If you go all the way to the end of the month, the max pain price is at 54,000, which means that this 42 that we just experienced not too long ago could be the bottom for this month, and that from this point on, going toward the end of the month, we will see Bitcoin back to 54,000. So let's see if that's the case. Now, the end of the month options expiration does have a ton of volume. We're talking about billions upon billions upon billions of volume right now, and mostly in the positive side. You do have a lot. I'm going to do this full screen here. Hopefully my camera doesn't block it. But you can see that there's a lot of calls at 60,000, 65,000, 70, 75, 80, and beyond. So there's a lot of very, very, very bullish calls. But there's also, like this one, this is enormous, a 2 billion call where Bitcoin should be coming down to 50,000. But anyways, if you average out, the max paying price is 54,000. So we'll see. We'll see if Bitcoin is still tracking this, whether or not what I'm telling you guys have any merit, because if come tonight or going to tomorrow, we see Bitcoin fall exactly back down to 44,000, then it's not a coincidence that there is something to this. And if we settle right around 54,000 by the end of the month, which is 2 weeks from now, it would not be a coincidence. So there's definitely something there. But right now, that's what it looks like. However, with that said, today, even though today looks like a horrible, horrible day, that almost everything is in the red, you know what? You take a step back and realize that's really not the case. Ethereum is barely down for today. I know it's really off from its high, but still, today is holding relatively well. Even Dogecoin is holding relatively well. XRP is holding really well. Cardano is still above $2, right? So today is not that bad. Not that bad. Even Solana is up, Ethereum Classic up. Look at Polygon. Polygon just doesn't want to come down. It's up. Look at Theta. Remember I told you guys, it's about time that Theta started moving because it's been so stagnant. Well, look at it. It's up 10%. Even Aave, I don't know what happened with Aave, but it's up a staggering 17% right now. So there are good movers. There are ones that are strong. And this, again, shows you that retail investors like you and I, right, we're getting smarter. We're developing that crust on our hands. I'm talking about diamond crust. And we realize that anytime there is a major dip or correction, it's a buying opportunity. That's what's happening. That's why you're seeing greens on somewhat, I would say somewhat of a correction day or days, right? So that is very, very encouraging, very, very positive that retail investors are learning from their mistakes, learning from the fact that, yeah, there might be some manipulation going on, but life goes on. We're still in the bull market, and there's so much more room to grow, and you don't want to miss on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, really. There's going to be more wealth generated in this bull run than all the previous bull runs combined. Just think about that for a second, right? And a lot of you guys have generated enormous amount of wealth within just the first 4 months of this year. And there is still a lot more room to grow, right? So you don't want to fall for the whalish games. You don't want to hand them over your cheap Bitcoin or crypto. The time is to lock in, to develop those diamond hands and really take advantage of the dips when you can. And that's what we're seeing. All right. So I want to start off with that. Next up, this is really, really, really interesting. And I want to say, I really want to see what happens with this because I saw this headline today, and this was just published today. A lot of you guys know ARK Invest, and you know of Cathie Wood, all right? Some would argue that Tesla's insane run in 2020 was all due to one person, Cathie Wood. There's been many, many times where Tesla stock was just iffy. The short sellers would pound it. And there was very, very many years, not just 2020, but many years where it seemed like Tesla was just not going to do it. And guess what? Cathie Wood has always come out and supported Tesla. And there's many, many cases where she's decided to just say, hey, I'm buying more Tesla. And it caused an effect where others actually came in. So you cannot doubt that ARK is basically the biggest supporter of Tesla out there, right? They have been so for many, many, many years. And now Cathie and ARK is questioning Elon's recent call and shenanigans about Bitcoin and environmental effects. So this is very, very interesting to me because I really want to know what's going to happen here because Cathie Wood is also a very big Bitcoin bull. she sees things that others don't. That's why she got in Bitcoin very early and also got in Tesla very early, and she's made a killing with bold calls. But now one of her favorites, Elon, is causing FUD, and she's not going to stand for it, right? So what is she going to do, right? This is really interesting to me. And she says some things that I haven't heard anyone else talk about in terms of how Bitcoin mining could actually be good for the environment, right? You would figure that there's no way Bitcoin mining could be good for the environment, right? Well, she argues different. And it's really an eye-opener, okay? So obviously she's talking about what Elon said about concerns of using fossil fuels and energy consumption and stuff like that, right? However, you dig into it, what does Cathie Wood say? Well, one of the things she said is Tesla's decision seems to be triggered by private equity firm Greenridge plans to revive a coal plant to mine Bitcoin. Okay, the concerns around Bitcoin energy consumption are misguided. The idea of an entire coal plant coming online to mine Bitcoin can be concerning, but what is happening on the ground is more complex. The company, now known as Greenidge Generations, bought some closed down coal-fired power plants in 2014, and they're converting them to natural gas and using the energy or electricity generated to mine Bitcoin. About one fifth of the plant capacity is running. Sorry, I just kind of read that wrong. But basically, to sum that up, they're converting that to natural gas. Okay, that is the plan. And Greenidge recently said it was buying carbon offsets intended to make its Bitcoin mining operations carbon neutral, with no net emissions on greenhouse gas after receiving scrutiny from environmental groups. All right, and here, this is what's really interesting. ARK sees the constant demand from cryptocurrency mining as likely to provide the profits needed for utilities to pay for the battery storage capacity needed to shift more decisively towards renewable sources of power. Batteries could allow utilities to store backup supplies of electricity, allowing them to rely on sources such as wind power that are only available intermittently. Okay, so she's arguing that because of cryptocurrency mining, these power plants or power facilities would actually pay for battery storage because it just makes more sense. It makes more sense for them to be able to pay for battery storage and store battery power, right? Or electricity power, because it's basically free that way. Without Bitcoin, the argument goes it would take longer for utilities to put battery backups in place. So coal and natural gas generation would still be required to meet demand when wind turbines aren't turning. So there you go. So batteries will so basically Bitcoin mining incentivizes green energy, right? It incentivizes green energy. So that's the argument. But anyways, going back, Cathie is not a fan of Elon's recent call, right? So it does seem like, remember Jack Dorsey also said something like this before. He tweeted out that Bitcoin is incentivizing green energy or renewable energy, and Elon even said yes to that. So I don't know. Elon is just like, I still can't get past what has happened over the last few days. It's just really mind-boggling. I came up some theories this morning. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. Maybe it's too wild and it's really out there, but this is really interesting. And I know I kind of butchered that article, reading that article, but I'm going to post it in the comments later so you guys could take a look at it or just Google it. But it's quite interesting that ARK is now questioning Elon's decision and questioning Tesla when she, in fact, holds $2 billion worth of shares of Tesla, and she's been the biggest bull of Tesla. So does she have to choose between one child and another now? Does she have to choose between Tesla and Bitcoin, right? It's looking like she wants to choose Bitcoin right now. So very, very interesting. Very interesting. All right, lastly, I want to talk about this. Not that we really care about Dave Portnoy because he has the weakest hands out there, and he entered Bitcoin and exited Bitcoin in about a freaking week. Where's all the mods? But he just did a big announcement. I just want to talk about it because he basically said he's going to invest into a new coin, and that coin happens to be SafeMoon. Out of all of them, he decided to go with SafeMoon. He didn't pick Doge, and he says he doesn't realize, he doesn't know how it works. He doesn't know anything about them. He just decided to buy them because they're a well-known name, right? And then he's decided to pick on the Wall Street Bets founder or CEO because he had a fit. And then Dave came out with another video making fun of him. So I don't know what's going on, but it's quite entertaining that Dave just comes in and out, in and out. Every time he comes in, he loses a whole bunch of money, gets mad, exits, and then he realizes he made a mistake, and then he comes back in and then exits again. I mean, it's just really funny that way. It's really funny that way. All right. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. I don't have that much to talk about tonight, but I do think this Cathie Woods, you know, questioning a bit of Tesla and Elon is very interesting. What's also interesting is this, you know, expirations. Even though this is so tiny, the volume should not dictate what Bitcoin is doing, right? But yet again, it looks like it's following it. So we'll see what happens. This max price is going to be at it is at 44,000. It's going to expire sometime late tonight, and we'll see what happens tomorrow, and we'll see what happens later this week going into next week, because if it is following this, then Bitcoin should be back up to 54,000 by the end of the month. And we know that when Bitcoin is coming up, altcoins will go up. Bitcoin dominance have really not moved. It's still at 40.4%. It got as low as 40%, so it did come up slightly, 0.4%. But honestly, this also shows you, again, how strong retail investors are, because I talked about how altcoins are doing very well, right? And they are, because Bitcoin dominance is not going up. Traditionally in the past, if Bitcoin falls, Bitcoin dominance skyrockets, and right now it's not. So again, that's very, very, very nice. All right, guys, let's do some Q&A, and also I could go through the top 100. Let's look at some of these altcoins and see which ones are underperforming or good buys right now. Lenny asks, recently on Binance's ADA chart, I've seen big wicks appear just out of nowhere, both upside and downside, without the price rising and falling. Is it Binance manipulation to wreck leverage traders? It could be. I've always speculated that these leverage liquidations could come from the exchanges themselves. Unproven, but you know what? Or maybe sometimes they're just large buys and sells and they get eaten up really quick. It could be that too. But yeah. Gold is breaking out also. You sure it's not tracking? No, it's not. It's not for sure. What are your two favorite DEX projects for Polkadot and Cardano? You know, I haven't really kept up with them. You know, DEX is, you know, I've been looking at Binance Smart Chain, and you know, for Polkadot, there's a few of them, but I just hear about it. I really haven't heard anyone really utilize them. Like Polkadot has Pokedex, right? But I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. And Cardano is not done yet, so we have to wait until it's done and see. Drew says, I appreciate your consistency. I want to attend your Vegas party, except my firstborn is due October 21st. Your wife, nah, you know what? When you have to choose between a Vegas party and your firstborn and being there, it's obvious, right? The Vegas party, a lot more important. Speaking of Vegas party, I did pull this poll out in terms of people that are interested, whether or not you really want to attend. There is a cost to it, and what do you get with it, right? Do you want to bring someone, and do you want to do a lot of stuff? So the poll is in the description of this video, and it's going to be pinned in the comments. So those of you guys that are interested, definitely fill it out. I will say that just in my limited time talking about this, I have about 500 people that already submitted and said they're going. Like adamantly, I'm going for sure. It doesn't matter what's going to happen, I'm going to go, right? And many of them have said that they're bringing spouses. So make sure you know, if you're serious, participate in the poll so I actually know, so I can plan. I will say that the demand is probably going to be higher than I expected. So I may put a cap on how many people can actually attend. And I'm working with projects right now, getting them involved too. So in case you guys are interested. All right, now let's real quick, let's go down this list. All right, because right now I know there's bargains. There's bargains to be had. Let's just start number one. Bitcoin being down 19% for this week. Yeah, it's at a bargain, right? Remember, those of you guys that were complaining, oh, why is Bitcoin so stagnant at 55,000 or 56,000, right? Well, now you could buy it. You could buy it for $10,000 less. I would say that is a big bargain right now. Even Ethereum, it got as high as 4,300. That's $1,000 less than the top. Yeah, definitely a bargain. BNB down 18%. It got as high as 670. So BNB actually show a lot of weakness, but still, it's actually still doing a little better than Bitcoin. But I would definitely say it's a bargain. Now, can you argue that Cardano is a bargain at this point? Well, you can't. It's not really a bargain because it's up for the week, right? But it is down from its highs. But I do believe there's a lot coming. When Guggen's done, I think Cardano's going to go much higher. So right now, still not a bad time to pick some up. Is Dogecoin a bargain? Well, it's still around 50 cents. So I would say Dogecoin is not really a bargain right now. XRP is up. Polkadot is up. Not really a bargain, although Polkadot I think still has more room to grow because it has been stagnant for so long. ICP, no, I think this is just too high, and this is not right anyways. This is based on total supply, not circulating supply, so that's not right. Bitcoin Cash, no. Litecoin, yeah, I think Litecoin, it was much higher, it's approaching 400, so it is definitely on sale right now. Uniswap, I do think, yeah, they're not down that much, but I do think their turn is coming. Chainlink also, yes. Stellar, yes. I do think that their Visa partnership and, among other things, DeFi initiatives could help them drive things up a little more. So, yeah. Is Solana a bargain? Ooh, Solana was just at 50 this morning. It was at 40s, like 41, 42. So right now, I would say it's not a bargain, although if the market climbs up, they will definitely go higher. But I love Solana. You guys know I put a lot of money into Solana before. I think they are going to go a lot higher. But right now, compared to others, they're not a bargain. And, you can argue Polygon's not a bargain. Being up 108% despite this week, that's amazing. That's really amazing. Not a bargain right now, although I love them. I do think that they, next to Binance Smart Chain, they are definitely the next big chain, right? That's why they're a big cap. A lot of DeFi projects are moving to them. I think they're going to do really well. Now, of course, I'm going to skip over Ethereum Classic, although they're at discount right now, but I still don't quite get them what they're trying to accomplish. But VeChain and Theta. VeChain is very undervalued right now. They were at 20 cents, 22 cents, so they're definitely a bargain to be had. But I'm glad to see that they crawled up because they were below 10 billion this morning. Theta is a bargain. That is why they're climbing up now, because they've been stagnant for so long. EOS, neutral on them. Tron, neutral. Aave is a good one. I'm not quite sure why they jumped up today. Shiba, no. I see Neo. Neo is a bargain. They're one of the up-and-coming chains from 2017 that's making a lot of traction. Terra is. Clayton, I still don't quite trust. They got pumped up way too fast. IOTA, they seem like they're making headways again. They actually reach out to me. I replied back to them. I gotta hook up with them and actually find out what's going on with them. Tezos and Cosmos, I think they're kind of, promising chains that get overlooked a lot. They don't get a lot of love, but I do think they're on sale right now, down 12, 13%. Thor chain they're not really a bargain at this point. PancakeSwap is definitely on sale, down 23%. They were much higher in the 30s. I think they may have even approached 40. So biggest AMM out there, even bigger than Uniswap by volume, and TVL. So I think they're very undervalued. Algorand, someone this morning told me that Algorand is working with central banks in terms of creating digital currencies. I don't know which ones. I don't know if that's really going to help them, but we'll see. We'll see. New Cipher and Engine. I like Engine quite a lot, but I'll get there. I'll get there. What else is there? People always ask me, well, why is what's going on with BitTorrent? I don't like them because they're part of the Tron ecosystem, so I don't know of any big things going on with them. But Crypto.com, I think they're undervalued. They were hovering around 5 billion for the longest time, so now that they're a little bit lower, I think they can come back. Compound, which is a competitor to Aave, I like them too. They've been stagnant for a while. I think they're gonna come back. Moving down, you got like Dash and Zcash. They're like privacy plays. Yeah, I don't like privacy plays. Urine Finance is doing pretty good. Elrond is another one, promising chain. They've lost a lot of luster. Honestly, they were so high flying, but they lost a lot of luster. I don't quite understand it. Hedera, they're actually up for the week, so they're actually not really a bargain at this point. Remain should not be up here. Synthetic token creation, so they're doing okay. Chili's, I think, is very undervalued, although they're holding really well. They were around 50 cents for quite some time, but they're in an NFT play. I think they're doing good. Near Protocol and Sushi, they're promising. One is promising chain, one is a DeFi play. I like both of these projects, but obviously being up right now, not really a bargain, but I think these are good. Telcoin is definitely a bargain right now. The ones they were high flying, just as fast as Polygon, but recently it topped off, started coming back down. I've been waiting for that because they've been just doing this basically, right? So they're in the remittance play. They have a lot of traction. So now that they've kind of come down a little bit, I think they're really, really hot. Really good buy right now. Zilliqa also promising. Blockchain from 2017, same doing Hollow. Nexo is like a lending project, very much like my sponsor BlockFi. Although they're overseas, BlockFi is regulated in the United States. I like them. So if you guys are interested in getting some interest for your crypto just by just leaving it there, or you could even take a loan against it, check out BlockFi. Qtum, now Theta Fuel, T-Fuel, yes. Decentraland, big virtual world, yes. Down 16%, yeah. Celsius also competes with Nexo and BlockFi. Basic Attention Token, yes. Although Basic Attention Token is always a good pickup. Brave browser is fantastic. This one I'm using. But I noticed BAT just like tends to just hover. It doesn't move for long periods of time. That has always been the case with BAT, but I still like them. Engine, someone asked about it. One of the biggest NFT plays. It's a marketplace. They have their layer 2. They have a new chain. They also help other projects come out with their own tokens and NFT plays like Chili's. Engine is definitely a bargain at this point. Going down the list, I think Phantom also. They're very much involved with DeFi projects. Yes. Ontology stacks, neutral on them, but they're promising. The Graph also I like very much. Digibyte also is promising because they're coming out to layer 2 to get themselves involved with DeFi and NFT. So that's kind of interesting. I'm glad to see Harmony. Harmony has been down for so long, so they're up 20% for the week, but still, I think there's a lot more room to grow. Harmony themselves are basically, if you look at it, they're like ETH2 already. Everything that ETH2 is trying to accomplish, they already have. So I think Harmony is very fantastic. I'm trying to get them to participate in the Vegas conference as well. I really love them to come aboard. Cello is a payment network, or helps project come out with payments. They're doing fantastic this week, so that's good. Bakery Token, they're doing fantastic, although they were higher, but yeah, up 32% this week. I told you guys, Bakery Token, they have really differentiated themselves from all other AMMs because they're not really AMM anymore. They're an NFT play. There's a big gap on Binance Smart Chain right now where there's no big NFT marketplace, and they are taking that role right now until others come out. But right now, they are taking that role, and they're doing very, very well. Helium also is one I like. OMG is a layer 2. They're promising, but I just don't know what is really being developed right now on top of them. Icon and Raven, pretty promising, although I think there's better plays. Some of the ones I mentioned already. Anchor, people love it. One-click node deployment, they're on Coinbase too, so okay. Venus, that bottoms out right there at 100. I do think they're very undervalued. Negative 28% for this week. They're like the MakerDAO, their lending play on Binance Smart Chain. Their total locked-in value is enormous. Billions upon billions upon billions. They're definitely a bargain right now. And also, what is it? Reserve rights, which is kind of like a stable coin kind of thing. They're trying to be a currency. And Swissborg, these are both good projects. I'm more neutral on them, but I know there's a lot of supporters for these. So yeah, that rounds out the top 100. So obviously, there's a lot of good projects out there, right? A lot of good projects, a lot of projects that are in the red, but as you saw, there's actually a lot of projects that's in the green too, right? Again, going back to this premise that retail investors, they're not dumb. Retail investors getting smart. They're picking up these fantastic projects, and it's a very different time than 2017. So I'm really glad to see that. All right, what else? Michael Burry, yes, just filed the SEC that he opened a short for 800,000 shares of Tesla. Yeah, he's kind of crazy. Short sellers of Tesla usually end very badly. But right now, with what's going on, it could be a big play, especially with Cathie Wood. That may be questionable now whether or not she's going to be supporting Tesla because of what Elon said. I don't know. Just speculating here. But it's interesting. Last time I recommended JigStack. The Twitter is a decent source of info. Appreciate you getting another chance. JigStack. What? See, why does their webpage have nothing? Like, how are you supposed to learn anything from here? What is going on with this? Why can't they fix this? Okay, here we go. Why can't they put anything on here, Mario? Just why don't you tell the team to fix the front page? All right, let's click about. Okay, Ethereum is a decentralized autonomous organization governing a portfolio of Ethereum network assets and protocols. All assets deployed on JigStack brand are audited. Okay. Yeah, so that's not what I would be interested in. So they're basically a DAO that is governing a portfolio of assets. So they're basically being like a hedge fund almost. I mean, that's how I'm seeing it, right? That's not something I'm interested in. Sorry, Mario. And that webpage is just horrible. What is it? Ellie, yes, I am. Like, that's the worst design site ever. Linear Finance. I did look at them. When they were like adding leverage or something. Is it linear? Yeah, I think it's just linear, right? Linear. I think they were adding, or no. First cross-chain compatible Delta 1 asset protocol. Oh no, I was wrong. I was thinking about another project. So this is, yeah. So this is like a code base for people to, I believe, build like these apps that they already built. Or maybe they're not. Maybe they're just operating on their own. Okay. So they have a builder, stake, build, earn, an application for staking and building their own stable coin. And then they have exchange, which trades a bunch of things, indexes and commodities and crypto. And then they have a swap. Okay. Build your stake. Okay. I remember I came across this project because a lot of these big VCs, they invest in linear. Okay. Okay. They're not doing so well, though. They're not doing so well. They are in Binance. Interesting. Seems like they didn't pick up the traction yet, or get the traction yet. Noob here. Smartest way to purchase Cake.Kusama. U.S. exchanges don't have it. KuCoin. KuCoin, my man. KuCoin has Pancake, Polkadot, and I think Kusama. So make sure you check. Like if you click on a project, go to market, it'll tell you exactly where it's on. But KuCoin is open to U.S. residents. So make sure you use my affiliate link in the description of this video. H-bar. I'm kind of neutral on H-bar. I think they're promising. They're developing really cool things, but they're structured differently. They're more like a corporate structure, more like a corporation, which is very different from some of these open source projects. Not that it's bad. It's just not my cup of tea, I guess. But they are doing very well. They're doing very well. And a lot of people think that if Elon wants to select a proof of stake network, it could be Hedera, because they have Google connection and Google's tied to Tesla somewhat. I don't know where the connection came from. Payton wants me to check Algorand's chart. I don't really like to check these charts, but I will bring it up. Here we go. It looks exactly like Bitcoin charts. It almost looks exactly the same. If I was doing some amateur TA here, I would say looking at a 4 hour. Let's just go to 1 hour. 1 hour doesn't really show much. It's not really breaking out from a previous high. It's just kind of settling. And all the indicators were kind of neutral. Same thing with the 4 hour. 4 hour looks like it could be turning up, although there's more room to go down. And on a daily, it's in the middle too. It's like you can't gather anything from this. It's like so neutral. It's just kind of hovering, going sideways, and you don't know what the hell's going on. So, unfortunately, that didn't really show anything. But look at it. If I go back to Bitcoin, it's almost identical the way it looks. Lost and found. Which is more advanced, Solana or ADA? I mean, depends on who you ask, right? Solana's already done, and they're very, very fast. They have a lot of things going for them. New language. Cardano, if you ask Charles, he's going to say Cardano is the most advanced ever in history. So I don't know. It doesn't have to be which is more advanced, right? It's just whether or not they could get the users, get network traction. That's really what it comes down to. Solana has a lot of traction, but who knows? Cardano could get even more because they have such a big, loyal support base. Numeri, I don't know too much about them. Can't really talk about them. Charlie 3, check their token economics compared. I mean, does it really matter? Doesn't show up. Yeah. Charlie 3 is an Oracle. I don't really care about the token economics. What I could tell you is, if you want to get into a Oracle play, you go with Chainlink. It's that simple. DAG Constellation, they've been around for a while. They have military contracts, but who knows what those contracts are really for. I know the Air Force signed up with them, but they seem to have no traction. No, not that much. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with them. Have you ever drank any Joseph Magnus bourbon? Good stuff. I have not. Crowny? Oh, too small. The volume is so low too. Yeah. Too new, man. Too new. What else is there? Someone says GraphLink. I think GraphLink got added to KuCoin. That's why they broke out. Someone said that earlier. Maybe it didn't get listed, but I remember GraphLink. I did a segment on them. They're kind of interesting. The easy way to data model and create like bots. Pretty interesting. Polygon, yeah. Polygon is still killing it. They are killing it. So I've come to realization Polygon is kind of like a mini Binance Smart Chain, because if you have a dApp or dApp maker that wants to move off of Ethereum, who do they look at? They either look at Binance Smart Chain or they look at Polygon. One of the two. It's like they have all the momentum. That is why Polygon is so hot right now. So hot. All right, anything else? Last few questions. Doge will flip BNB soon. They were very, very close. Very, very close. I mean, Doge can still flip Cardano and can possibly flip. I mean, they were at number 3 before, right? I think so. Stack OS. What is this project? Way, way, way too small, man. Way too small, but I'll look at it anyways. The Unstoppable Infrastructure Protocol, open protocol that allows individuals to collectively offer a decentralized cloud where you can deploy any full stack application. Allows individuals to collectively offer a decentralized cloud where you can deploy any full stack application. Okay, so they're a decentralized cloud play. Okay. Yeah, so much like RCL and Anchor, that's pretty much what it sounds like. Partners and VCs. Neo is involved, so they must be building on top of Neo, I'm assuming, because Neo Capital and them. What else is there? X21 or AU21? Pantera? They got some good backers. Okay. Yeah, so basically they're just selling like cloud infrastructure. Uniswap. It's not a very sexy project, and they have a lot of competition, but they do have good backers, so I'll give them that. All right. Sang, thank you. I see that. Okay, how do I get ahead of some of these projects? You can't. That's the thing. If you could, you know, if you could get into private sales and stuff, and you know someone on the inside, then you'll know. Otherwise, it's supposed to be a secret. Sidecoin, they're okay. You know, decentralized storage, but they're trying to become a decentralized internet too. So, okay play. I still like Arweave a lot better. All right. So that's it. I'll let you guys go. Have a good night. Overall, let's see what happens with Bitcoin. And right now, it seems like it's tracking that options expiration. We'll see what happens tomorrow, and if it really does track it or not. But in the meantime, altcoins are definitely on a discount. So at a discount. So make sure if you've been eyeing some of these, you've been waiting for a dip, this is a good opportunity. I know psychologically most people don't want to buy on the way down. Almost everyone wants to buy on the way up, but you got to really flip that. Because you buy on the way up and it comes down, yeah, and then you panic and you want to sell. That's not the way to do it. You want to buy low and sell high. That's how you do it. That's how you win at a game of crypto. So make sure you go shopping. If you find something that you like, go ahead, but be careful, right? Be careful. Don't go all in. I always hear that people just like jump all in. No, you sprout your buys. You dip your toes a little bit. You sprout your buys, and then you just dollar cost average a long haul, and you hold all, and that's quite simply it. And I really want to see what happens with this. Whether or not there's big moves between ARK and Tesla, I don't know. Are they going to call it quits? Is there going to be more feuding going on, or is this going to just blow over? I don't know, but this is quite interesting. Very interesting to me. All right, guys, that's it. Have a good night. Smash a like, subscribe to the channel. Tune in tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good night.